Mark Libow, September 1946. Our family moved here, well, my dad moved here from Chicago, and he grew up in Echo Park area. And then his father, my grandfather, his name was Harry, everybody called him Pop. He had a barber shop on the boardwalk here, long before I came along. Venice was pretty incredible, to tell you the truth. I think we were in paradise, but we didn't realize it.
What was incredible in that perspective?
Because we had the beautiful Pacific Ocean, and Dad was a lifeguard here in Venice in the 30s. So he taught us how to swim and dive and fish. Our whole family, we're fishing fools, if you will. We did a lot of fishing on the different piers that were here. Lick Pier, which adjoined Ocean Park Pier, and then later on, POP was the Disneyland by the sea, if you will. We fished under the catwalks of both piers, but the scariest one that had the most amount of fish was the short pier called Lick Pier, and it was owned by two ladies, and their last name was Lick, believe it or not. That's a story I've heard throughout the years. So as you went out on the catwalk, there was two mossy 2x12s, and before you got to the end of Lick Pier to go fishing for piling perch and surf perch and all stuff like corbina, you had to walk by this gigantic, dangerous looking generator that was underneath Lick Pier. It was like a condenser, actually. It had like 2-inch cables coming into it. It was real scary. So you had to walk with your fishing gear and slide past it, about 10, 12 foot, sliding past it. And that was a relief once you got past it. So you didn't want to grab it, I could tell you that. And then we'd fish out on the end. There was planks out there, and you'd sit on the planks, and they would kind of sway. We had some classic characters on the boardwalk that roamed here all the time. And one of the places I got some unique education on Marine Street was called Cheney's Pool Hall. Cheney was I never knew his first name. His name was Cheney. He owned the joint. And an old man named D.A. Jones was the manager, and it cost 25 cents to play pool for an hour. 25 cents an hour. Beautiful Brunswick tables. So one day, Cheney bought a brand new color TV, and it was about 8 foot in the air. And he was real proud of it, you know. So we had the #1 table up front, and I think I was breaking something. It was a breaking ball. Boom! And I lofted the ball off the table. Cheney's behind the desk, and the place had approximately 2-inch diamond tiles, black and white diamond tiles throughout the whole floor. What did it do? Boom! Goes up about 8 foot, smacks Cheney's brand new color TV. And oh boy, he really got pissed off. And it didn't break it. Thank God for me, it didn't break it. So that was one of my, I got educated real quick, you know. I remember if we were good kids, Grandpa would take us to Zookie's, and they sold corned beef sandwiches right on the corner of Marine Street, and all the old yentas, the old Jewish ladies would hang out there on the benches. And I think the sandwiches were 35 cents, so that was a big treat to get a corned beef sandwich from Zookie's. The name of the business is Elco Welding and Engineering. We moved there, it was late 1966. So all the timber for our building was brought up from San Pedro on a horse-drawn cart. It took 2 days to get to Venice. There's a faded mural behind the sign outside on the brick wall called Kick Soda Pop, Venice, California, with a bathing beauty from the 20s, one-piece suit. And they made a little soda pop, but they made a lot of illegal booze because from 1918 to 1933, Prohibition was going on and people still wanted booze. They wanted to drink. So there's a pit in there and you can see, and there was a water company across from the railroad tracks. Right behind our shop was a water company. And they would pipe over, I guess, distilled water into the pit to make bathtub gin or whatever they were making that week. The front half was automotive repair, and the back half was soda pop making, supposedly. Potent soda. We've done a lot of work for blue chip artists. They get the credit, but that's okay. One of the best art things that I've ever done was for Charles Eames and Ray Eames. It was the last thing that came out of their shop. I actually welded together a very nice man named Don who was, I guess, deaf in both ears. He had hearing aids. He came in and introduced himself one day years ago. Said, I'd like you to do this for me. We don't really care what it costs. I just want it to look real neat. He worked with me for, about a day and a half. And I welded it all together, and then Don took it away. And then he came back. I guess he painted it, maybe at their facility. And it turns out my welds are holding the first Gutenberg Bible that was ever printed. The stand was made at Elco Welding, and Don gave his credit for it. It's at the Huntington. Yeah, how about that?
So cool.
Yeah. We hope it doesn't break, huh? We don't want it to break. I think all the unique characters that I saw every day roaming the boardwalk and hanging out at Cheney's pool halls and a few other interesting places, I think that kind of got permanently etched in my brain. The beach opens up an awareness when they come to the beach. I think if you live in some crowded part of LA or New Jersey or NYC or somewhere, you can kind of forget the problems on your mind and kind of release yourself. And, on the boardwalk, which is, there's a lot of people releasing on the boardwalk, and it's always been like that. A lot of different characters, but I think it kind of frees you up being near the ocean and the entertainers and things like that. I think it's a good experience, good overall body experience, mind and body experience. I think that's what happens. Yeah, people love coming to Venice. It's a big tourist attraction. We know that. Now, I guess we're still in paradise. It's just a different episode, I should say. Yeah, it's just a different episode.